Welcome to my channel. I'm Julie, keeper of my home. In my last video, my husband and I prepped the ground for raised beds. In this video, we will be making the raised beds, filling them, and showing you how we do it, step by step. So let's get started. I'm back out in the garden, and we left off when it was just this. We've had 12 inches of snow, and that finally melted. We got another dusting that finally melted, and so we're back out here. It is cold. I am cold. It's been so windy and rainy or snowy, and we just can't seem to get a break. So we're out here today. It's going to rain a little later, but we have all of our wood here. There's 2 more pieces that my husband's going to get in the garage. But we have, this is enough for one of the beds. So we're going to drill the holes for that and get the screws put in. So that is where we're at right now. So we're going to get to that and let you guys enjoy the show. I just have to say, I have the very best and most patient husband ever. He puts up with my crazy ideas, I guess. Here he is trying to get all of this straightened out and figured when he has no idea what I have in my head. Like, this is mind reading at its best, folks. I'm just telling him where to put everything, where it goes, what it's supposed to look like, and he is just going along for the ride. He does so well. I am so blessed with him. This is a really good view of how very unlevel the ground still is. We did get the chance to backfill a lot of these areas, and I'll show you one of them coming up here later on in the video. But I'm telling you, it was so hard to get this ground even. We didn't really have all of the tools to be able to do it. It would have been nice to have something to, a roller to be able to roll everything out. But you know what? Everything worked out in the end, and that's really all that matters. I've never really been the type of person that shies away from things because I think it's too big of a project. If it's something that I think is doable, I'm going to do it. If it looks hard, well, I don't know if it's going to be hard or not until I've tried it. And I encourage you to do the same thing. This saved us so much money. I mean, look, we're in a little bit of a crisis here with this pandemic, and things are expensive enough right now. So the only way to do this was to do it ourselves, and we're pretty glad we did. We're really satisfied with the job that we did, and we are not carpenters, folks. We didn't have all the tools we needed. We didn't think we had the know-how, but somewhere we just did it. We just flew by the seat of our pants and just did it. We drew everything out on paper first, and we figured out everything that we would need. I didn't do so well doing all the figuring, but I think we did pretty good in the end. You wait and see what you think, and let me know in the comment section below. So the first bed is semi-done. The pattern is there. It's kind of L-shaped, and it's going to be 24 inches deep. We've got 3 different sizes in the garden. There's 12, 18, and 24. So we're going to build upon this one, so we'll be putting the sides up in it. This is all cedar lumber because cedar lasts a really long time. We have a cedar mill near us, so that was helpful. The screws that we're using to put this together are 3-inch deck screws. Now these are great for outside, and so we don't have to worry about them rusting or anything like that. So we're putting the screws into the 4x4 posts, and we're also putting them into the ends of the next joining board. We're just trying to make sure that these are as strong as we can get them. We are using 4x4 cedar posts for the corners, and the boards are 6 inches wide and 8 inches long. 8 inches was a good length to work with. Then we cut them in half and use the 4-foot long ones for whatever sides we need those ones for. They're about 1.5 inches thick. They are rough sawn cedar, so it's not grade A lumber, but it is cedar, and cedar is going to last a long time. You can see here we're just stacking and screwing them into the posts. On the inside corner where I'm just using a 2x4 there. 4x4 was just a little big for that area, and we just really needed something to join those boards together. So we did use a 2x4 for that. This was really not something we'd ever done before. I mean, we'd made 4x4 beds before, 12 inches high, but we'd never really gone to this length in making this many beds. And the design that we did, this is an L shape, so it's a little different. But this was a lot of fun. And if this is something that you think you want to do, I think it would be an incredibly easy project for you. Although we did run into some, a few little bumps and bruises along the way, like number one being the biggest is that when we got the snow that we got, it just really settled the dirt a lot, and we found we had a lot of pockets of unevenness, even more so than we had before. So we did have to backfill a lot of areas. We did get it done. We may not have done it in the right order that it needed to be done, but you know what? This is just flying by the seat of your pants at its best. Truly it is. I mean, we're not professionals. I think this video shows that. But you know what? We are two homeowners that are doing this project to save money, because we didn't want to have to pay somebody to do this. We're doing it ourselves. We're learning along the way. And these are experiences that, they're great. They set you up for the future. If you ever need to do anything else, at least you have these little skills that you have learned along the way. So this is what the finished box looks like, minus the dirt. We are going to have 4 of these ones, actually, one on each corner, L-shaped like this. The other ones will be either 4x4 square or 4x8. He's getting the last one screwed in here. We do have one uneven spot here, we can see right there. The ground is a little bit lower, so we're going to get some soil and lift that ground cloth and put some soil under it. And then I think today we're going to call it a day. We've had a lot of interruptions, a lot of other things going on, so yeah, we'll get back to you tomorrow. It's the next day, and this is what we got done. This one is completely done. I showed you that one, and this is another one that we did. You can see we've got the 6-inch wide boards, and they're 8 feet long, and we've got 4x4 posts in the corner, and then on this end we have 4 feet. So essentially we're just working with 8-foot boards, just cutting them in half, and everything is either 4 feet or 8 feet. We still have a little bit of leveling to do. You can see here, I don't know, maybe you can't see. Can you see that post is a little off the ground there? We've got some leveling to do, but I mean, it's hard to say when you just have everything laid down until you get the box down on top of everything, and then you kind of have an idea of where it's level and where it's not. So we can tweak that before we get the dirt in these boxes. For right now, you can see these are both done, and I'm thrilled. Another thing I want to tell you too is that when you're building these, if you do them yourself, you want to make sure that you're looking down the board. And if it's bowing, because sometimes they have a little bit of bow, put the bow, the curve, to the inside of the bed, because when you fill the bed with dirt, that's going to push that bow out a little bit. And the screws, well, they're you don't really have to pre-drill the holes according to the directions of the screws. We've pre-drilled some of them we haven't, but they're not going to rust. They're good for outdoor use. So you want to make sure if you do this, you do some for outdoor use. The tarp that we have down here, I can link it below. It's really good stuff. I am so impressed with it right now. I mean, albeit we're just getting into the growing season, there's really not much that, our grass is just barely turning green right now. But so far this stuff seems pretty tough. It's letting the rain through, it's draining, but it's not letting anything up through. We have put, you can see it's got little pins here, staples like. We did overlap quite a bit. There's probably 6 to 8 inches of overlap. I don't know, is that overkill? Not sure. But I wanted to make sure that no weeds were getting through, because that's the whole point of this. I just don't want to do the weeds. So we're going to put the rest of these boxes in today. I'm not sure if I'm going to film us putting them together anymore. I may film after I get, a few of them done and just show you where they're located, because I mean, basically it's going to be the same thing. It's just putting up the wood and screwing the boxes together. So we're going to get going on this. My husband's in the garage waiting for me right now, but I'm just really excited, really, really excited to see all of this come together. Okay, this is what we have now. We've been really, really busy. There's just one that we haven't finished because for some reason I miscounted, and we don't have all of the wood. We still need just a few more pieces to finish that one box, but we have all the other ones done. There's a little bit of leveling that needs to be done, but right now we have a wheelbarrow full of dying or dead wood that we've cut from around our property, and what we're doing is we are filling the boxes just about, I don't know, the bottom 6 inches. And this is all, I've got leaves that I've got to rake up too and put those in there, but what this is going to do is it's going to decompose as it sits. So it's compost is, pretty much what it is. It's just going to compost in there, feeding the soil that we put in, so that soil is constantly being fed, and also we don't have to worry about putting so much soil in here. I almost forgot to film it because we have been so busy today. I've just been running around getting a few things done. This is one of the bigger beds. We still have a little bit more to put in, but you can see we're going to fill these right up, and that's going to help so that we don't have to put as much soil in these. This is the 24-inch high bed, and then we have the 18-inch. We have 2 of those there, right there, and then these ones are 12 inches. All the corner ones are 2 feet. This will be nice when we get this whole area finished. We still have a couple places left to level out those beds. I mean, they're not going to be perfect. They're not. But they're going to grow food. And that's all we need them to do. So as long as they do that, you know, that's for us, that's all that matters. So right now my husband is peeling the outer layer, the bark off of some cedar trees, cedar posts. All of this is going to be added to the bottom of the boxes. This is all in addition to the rest of the stuff that we'll be composting down. We really literally scavenged our property for everything we could find to put in the bottom of these boxes to fill them up really good so that this will compost over time and save us some soil in the boxes so we don't have to fill up so much. Okay, change of scenery. Let's work on another project that needs to be done. We're just kind of taking a break away from the garden for a few minutes. We just need to get this project done. It's also something else that's on our summer to-do list. Do you guys have a summer to-do list? I have a very long one, and I am praying that I get everything done. I do a summer to-do list every single year. I don't always accomplish everything that's on it. So a lot of the time, it just gets moved up to the next summer, which is crazy. But our summers are so short. I just wish they were as long as our winters. I should have mentioned somewhere in this video what month we're in. I believe it's May. I'm not sure when in May. I know that we had a really big snowstorm early on. It was crazy. Our winter just seemed to go on forever, and we didn't think spring was ever going to come. I mean, this is as much of spring as we got here. It was a very short spring season. It kind of went, you know, right into summer. But we did have a short period of time where we had a lot of high winds. And the days that we were doing this, you'll see as we go along, there's a lot of wind during this time, but I'm just glad to be able to have some good weather to do this. I mean, I was glad to get our ground cover down before we got 12 inches of snow. It was crazy. We were just thinking, this is one of the craziest years. I mean, really, you look at everything that's been going on this year. It's been just outrageous how crazy this year has been. My finger is right center. So go over an inch from where my finger is. Just put it right in. Okay, that was a little bit more challenging for something that should have been extremely easy, but it was just really hard to find a place to connect them that wasn't covered with something. So we had to get in kind of some funky angles, but this is the compost bin. No, it is not pretty, but it's functional. And functional works right now. So this is where we're gonna throw our compost. We have quite a bit in another area. We'll probably bring it over here just because it's closer. It's in the garden area. And for you to get an idea of where this is at, let me show you. We're taking the old one out. It's right here. So this is where everything is at, and the compost is handy right here. So this will work for us. The ground isn't even, as you can see where that's kind of tipped up a little bit, but that's okay. That's okay. It's going to work just the same. We're going to take that one out, clean it, wash it up, and sell it, actually. So anybody local out there looking for a compost bin, this is a great one, but just not for us. We just wanted something a little bit more homemade, I guess. And that's what we have done so far. still so much more to do. We ordered some soil for the garden, and this just came. I wasn't quick enough to get the truck driving in and dumping it, so just showing you now. And actually our son is dumping it into the beds with his bucket. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad to be able to get these filled, I can't tell you. We're on our last bed here. I think I had mentioned we needed a little bit more wood, so we're waiting to get this. Okay, so this one we still have to finish building. I think I mentioned that one. But we just got done filling the other ones. We still need to put some peat moss and some topsoil in here. That'll get done in time. And you can see we've got some 2x2s on each side here. We've got a couple other places we're going to do this as well. That's going to be for a trellis because there's going to be cucumbers and or squash. Climbing vegetables are going to be on here. So the other one is going to go right over here between those two. So that's going to be kind of cool. I'm anxious to put that up in there. Right now all of this is done, and it's been a really long day. I have no idea what time it is. We're both really thirsty and hungry, so we've been at this since early. So we're going to go in and grab a bite to eat. Over here you can see we've got a big chunk of that dirt taken down. This is what's left, so I figure it's enough to fill that last box. If not, we can always get more. The people we get soil from are actually just at the end of our road, so that makes it really nice. It's a new day! Yay! And look how sunny it is. It's great. I'm back at it again. Cleaning out the beds. We added some peat moss. We're just going through them. I mean, this isn't awesome soil, but it's awesome that we got these beds filled with any soil at all. So we do have to amend the soil a little bit, and that's fine. That's fine with us. There's really no place that we can get really great garden soil, so we make do with what we've got. See around the bottom here? There's a lot of rocks and things that are, it's just where we cleaned up around here, cleaned out the underneath of that black tarp when we got ready to lay that down. You can see it's just kind of messy, I guess. So what I need to do is get that all raked up. Okay, this is my favorite part of the entire garden. I didn't get the beginning of this. I did this by myself, put the wire up myself, and my husband saw me doing this and came running out. He said, "Are you crazy?" He goes, "You can't be doing this by yourself." He helped with the rest of it, and I'm telling you, if he hadn't have helped me, I do not think that I could have done this. It was an unbelievable amount of work trying to get this onto the 2x2s. This is cattle panels. It's just steel panels that are 50, these ones are 52 inches by 16 feet. We did have to cut off a little bit because our beds are not 52 inches wide. So we did cut off some, but we left the 16 feet and put these kind of down onto, you can see how we've got them kind of down onto the 2x2s. They aren't going anywhere. I mean, they are on there. They were so hard to get on there. You can see, I mean, I'm pulling and pushing with all of my might, and he's doing the same. This was unbelievable, people. So I don't know if there was an easier way to do this. I don't know. But we got it up, and I'm telling you, I absolutely love it. I was trying my best not to have to climb into the beds to pull this down over the 2x2s because I didn't want to compact the dirt. But there are moments where I did have to. Did I mention there's two arbors? Two cattle panel arbors. Yeah. So this means we had to do this twice. I think the second time was even harder than the first time. I don't know. This was, like I said, these are not going anywhere. I think they're hurricane proof. Once we got those on those 2x2s, they're solid. But, you know, I cannot wait to see our stuff growing up around those. I've never done vertical gardening before. And we're actually going to have our squash and cucumbers growing up over these. I can't wait. I'm really curious how many of you have done vertical gardening. I mean, I've seen it done. I've just never done it. And I keep thinking that everything's going to be too heavy to hang off of there. It's going to pull itself off the plant or something. I don't know. Time will tell. But I really cannot wait to see this in action. So if you've done this before, let me know in the comment section how you've made out and if it's something that you like. I will say that in our potager garden, we do have some gourds growing. I'm growing them in totes, actually. We didn't have room in this garden. I didn't want to put them in the ground because they run quite a bit, and I didn't want them running into the area where we mow. So I put them in totes, and I did the cutoffs from the cattle panels. I took those pieces. They're pretty wide, probably 6 inches wide. I put those from tote to tote, and we have our gourds vertically growing over the cattle panel. So that's going to be really neat too. And if I have a chance at some point while they're growing this season, I will show those to you. Yes, we finally got this arbor up. Thankfully, it was a tough job, believe me. Well, you could see. Okay, so now my husband and I are adding more soil. We're just putting some topsoil. We put a little bit more peat moss, and now we're just spreading some topsoil. We have quite a bit in there already at this point, and we've tilled it in, and now we're adding more. So I didn't get the first round of it, but you're seeing the second round. Just trying to get the soil pH level right and good for growing the vegetables that we want to grow. If we would have done bags for all of these beds, it would have been a lot of money. So this way was the most cost-effective way for us to do it. Like the old saying goes, all good things must come to an end. This is the end of part 2, but I will be doing a part 3 with a full garden tour. So subscribe if you haven't already, and be sure you click the notification bell so you'll know when part 3 comes out. And until next time.